Hello friends and welcome back to our channel Do You Know? My name is Adil and today we are going to see how to create tables in HTML. Tables are used to arrange data in a proper format. In HTML, table tag is used to define the table. The data in the table is inserted according to the row format. Do you know how to create a table? If not, let's get started. Today we are going to create this table using HTML. First of all, we need to know that how it works. So, the tables in HTML works in the form of row. For example, first we enter the data in the first row, then in the second, and then in the third. First we created a new file, then we mentioned the document type of that file, then we wrote the title of table. Now let's write table tag, give it a border of 1. Now the first tag inside the table is tr. Tr means table row. As I mentioned before that in the HTML the data is inserted in the row format. So this is the first row. Now let's see what is there in the first row. It's timetable. Okay. So there are two things inside the table row. The first one is th, which is bold and it's automatically placed in the center. So let's write timetable and see it how it looks like in the browser. See, you can see here timetable is visible. Then let's see what is there in the second row. Now you can see that there is nothing in the first row, only there is a timetable. So let's see in the second row we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. 6 different data. First is hour, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. So the second row we have, now comes the TD. TD is known as table data. The data which you put in the table, you see this comes in the normal format and left aligned. So first is hours, table data, Monday. Let's copy it and Friday. Now save this and let's see how it looks like in the browser. Now you can see that hours Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday we got on the web page. Now let's see in the next row. These hours came in the last row, so we won't cover this in this row. Now they are only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 rows to be inserted. So let's just copy this and paste it, and we just need only 5 columns in this row. So first is science, second is maths, then again science, then comes maths and arts, maths and arts. Now save this and let's see how it looks like. See, you can see we got. In next row we have other 5 subjects which we will add in the table. Let's just copy this one and add it. Let's change it to social, then history, English, social, history, English, social and sports. We have sports. Okay. Now let's save this and see in the browser. You can see history, social, history, English, social and sports. We got it. Now in the next row we have just lunch. So we would add just lunch in this row. TR, the table row, and we would give this in the table heading because it's in the bold format. So lunch. Now let's see the next row. Now you can see here in the next row down to the lunch section, the it is same as the first one, science maths, and last one is just project. So we can just copy this one and add here. This one is just project. Now let's see the next row. The next row is same as the second row, this one. So let's just copy that one and paste it here. Okay. Now the thing is that here the project one we have covered already. So we need to just remove this one. Save it and just see in the browser. You can see we got a table, but it's not like this one. Then how can we do this to look the similar one? So let's see here. This timetable is taking all the columns in the table. For example, this timetable has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. 6 column. It's taking the whole length of the 6 column. So what we need to add, here are the two attributes you need to learn, the row span and col span. Col span means it's taking the how much width. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6. It, it took 6 columns. Okay. So where in the timetable, inside the table header, you need to give col span 6. Save this and see it in the browser. Now you can see it took the call span of 6. Now you can see here the hours are taking the rows. It's taking the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 rows. You can see here. It's taking the whole length of 6 rows. So these are the rows. So we need to write row span where the hours is. So in the table data where the hours are mentioned, we need to write row span of 6. 6 it means it's taking the 6 rows. Here we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 rows. As the timetable is taking 6 columns. Okay. So let's save this file and see it in the browser. You can see the hours took the 6 rows. Now here comes the lunch. The lunch section is only taking the 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 columns because this one column is covered by hours. So it takes 5 columns. So you just need to add 5 rows, column span 5 in the lunch section. Col span 5. Save this and see it in the browser. You can see lunch took all the 5 columns. Now the last thing you can see here, the project. The project is taking 2 rows. It's taking 2 rows. So you need to write just row span 2 in the project. Row span 2. Save this and see in the browser. You can see project. Now let's compare it with this. Let's just see, is this the same as we want to create? Now you can see here The timetable is in the perfect format. This this table is created on the web page, and all it's similar to this. Okay, now let's just recap what we have done. First, we had created a table tag. In that table, we insert the data in the row format. See, you can now see here there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 rows. And here also you can see 1, this is second, then comes the third row, then comes the fourth row, fifth row, sixth row, and seventh row. So in the table, in the HTML table, we insert the data in the row format. So inside the row, we add the values of columns. So in the first, we add the timetable, and so on. Now we had discussed two attributes, that's call span and row span. Call span means how many columns it's taking. Like here in timetable, it's taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 column. It's taking the length of 6 column. So we wrote it here 6. Inside the table row, inside the data where the timetable is mentioned, you need to write call span 6. And the second thing we saw is row span. In row span, here hours you can see it's taking the rows, not the columns. So we need to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 calls row span 5, 6, sorry, 6 inside the hours. You need to write 6. So this is what row span and call span is. Okay, that's it for today. If you have any doubt, then mention it in the comment section. And if you really think that this content was useful, then please like, share, and subscribe our channel.